before Navionics.
Very heavily trafficked commercial dam. Right now, sunset is at 6:28. Slower than slow. You know our motto. This is the day that keeps on going and going and going.
Hi, we're Jen, Elliot, and Ollie. In 2019, we left the United States and backpacked through 11 countries, all before deciding to come back home and try something completely new, pivoting into boat life. Our current adventure is America's Great Loop, a 6,000-mile journey through small towns, big cities, and the wilderness from the eastern portion of the United States, through the Great Lakes and Canada, and down the Midwest rivers, all aboard our home on the water, Pivot. Make sure you subscribe as we share our journey through the highs, lows, and everything in between.
Good morning from Paducah, Kentucky. Yesterday we went to the National Quilt Museum, which was fantastic, exceeded our expectations. And today we're going to a new museum, the River Heritage Museum, I think is what it's called. Thanks again to Change of Pace, Lyle and Sue, for letting us raft last night because the docks here were full. We moved this morning just to, let them leave whenever they needed to, and we still have to leave today. We're not staying the night. We are going into the Kentucky Lakes region, which super happy about that, and that means we'll be finishing our 4th Midwest river today. So we have an exciting day planned.
In keeping with the theme of the rivers, we are going to the River Discovery Museum here, where we hope to learn a little bit more about some of these Midwest rivers.
Before Navionics. This is a personal compilation of one of the captains that worked on the Delta Queen steamboat in the 1960s. That's dope.
The River Discovery Museum has been fantastic. There are so many interactive exhibits through the industry here, the environment, the fish and wildlife, species all around, all of its interactions, and the flood problems and challenges that they have to overcome, specifically in Paducah, being right here on the water. And it's just been super interesting, and especially like how much flooding there was in the 500-year flood, which was about 90 years ago. It's absolutely insane. It's been more of like a science museum of science and history, with the interactions and the level of detail, and it's been kind of cool seeing some more information about like the barges too, because we see them all up and down the waterways, and to see like how big they are, what the relative difference is between how much a barge can move and how much trucks can move, really puts it all into perspective. The River Discovery Center was amazing. It was just so nice to really learn about these rivers that we are transiting through, and we will be for the next couple months. So I highly recommend you come visit. It was $12 per person, which was well worth it. The same price as the Quilt Museum. Remember, we share all of our expenses on our loop on our website, so you can see this and everything else for how to plan and budget your loop if you're interested in doing it. Now we have about 36 nautical miles to our first and only lock of the day, and our last lock for a good portion of time, which is the Barkley Lock, I think. Now this next section of the loop splits, but not as big of a split as another section. Basically, you can follow the Tennessee River down to the Tennessee Lock and Dam. That is a very, very heavily trafficked commercial dam. So you could be waiting there for hours. Like, we've heard people waiting there for 7 hours. So it's shorter geographically, but longer overall. Most people which is the route we are most likely going to take, is the Cumberland River route, which is about 17 nautical miles further. So it's a longer distance, but a shorter time, because it'll take us 2 to 3 hours to do that versus the 7 hours at the lock and dam, with the expectation that most likely the Barkley lock and dam will be able to walk us through in a normal amount of time. So that is the plan. And that right there is the Tennessee River, which if we were going to the Tennessee lock and dam, we'd do that. We are officially doing the Cumberland route. I did try to call the Kentucky lock master, but it didn't go through. So either they have other calls going on or something's going on. And we had already heard from somebody that they were really busy today, so we're just gonna take that, do a longer route. No worries, we're getting there around, I think, 5:36 p.m. So that still gives us some time to walk through before the sun goes down. Hopefully that's the case. If not, we got plan Bs, we got plan Cs, we got so many plans on board Pivot, it's unreal. It's just kind of like what you have to do on the loop. Unless you hop from marina to marina and you leave at dark 30, which you can always do. So if you want to be rigid and a little bit more structured, not in a bad way, that's what you can do. And a lot of people left this morning, about 6 boats for Green Turtle Bay. And that's the next marina kind of that people go to. So that was always a possibility. But we kind of like to play with things as they go, leave a little bit later, arrive later, you know, take it day by day. You know, we do enjoy cruising earlier because it gives more options and it's just so beautiful in the morning. But we are okay with cruising later. We are at the mouth of our next river of our Midwest rivers on America's Great Loop, and that is the Cumberland River. If we stay on the Ohio and don't turn off right here, we will end up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is quite a ways off the path here. Unfortunately, we are continuing to travel upstream, which means we have current against us. About 5.8 knots right now, which is putting us at the lock at sunset. Not so bueno, but it is what it is.
Tell me all you see above me. I can feel the distance now. There is never a promise of tomorrow. You made a decision just like it has to do, love. You made a decision just like I knew you do, love. Oh, give me life. I can see
behind me, we just passed the Cumberland River Quarry. It's really interesting as we travel down the river, seeing so much of the industry that is present, just because it's such a contrast from what we've seen on the loop so far. And it's not something that we get to see typically in our daily lives either. So going past a quarry, it's very interesting to see the large, massive dump trucks with wheels as probably as tall as I am, if not more. While we were at the River Discovery Center earlier today, it was interesting learning about all of the different materials that are transported through barges, and that includes grains, iron and steel, ores and minerals, chemicals, aggregates, petroleum, coal, and coke. So far, the Cumberland River has been beautiful. The leaves are just starting to change. It's the beginning of October, and it looks so pretty. I can only imagine what this waterway looks like in just a few short weeks, whenever the colors are much more vibrant and all the trees are changing. As for now though, we are cruising at 1800 RPM, so our typical cruising speed. And we are going a whopping like 4.9 knots. It is slow. The current is going against us, and it is very clear and evident.
Well, we've made it to Barkley Lock. I just called the lock tender and he said he was gonna empty the chamber and let us lock up. So that's good, very good for us. It means we probably won't have to wait that long and we can lock through before sunset, because it's 6:15 right now. Sunset is at 6:28, so it's about 13 minutes to sunset. Great. Not exactly our ideal plan. We don't enjoy cruising at night, like I mentioned before, but our anchorage is just on the other side of this lock and dam, basically off the starboard, so it's really not much further. I don't really know exactly how much further, but it's not much, like 15-20 minutes. So hopefully we are like in by dusk, because navigating new waterways at night, it's not really fun. And we are out here to have fun and explore. Slower than slow, you know our motto. I'm actually going a little fast. All right, that was our first lock through at sunset ever. Hopefully our last, but it was beautiful. Now let's wrap up this amazing day on the loop.
Just looking for like a green in the dark. Elliot found these docks as a boat ramp dock, but they look more like maybe like kayak ramps or something like that. Like, boat ramp looks sized for a much smaller boat, and they have like finger piers, but they're not at all pivot sized. They're not even pontoon boat sized or like something like that. Yeah, so now we're reversing out. There is an anchorage in here, so that's our like backup plan.
It was actually our plan A. We just
found
out about docks later.
Okay, plan A. So we're going back from plan B to plan A, and yeah, not too shabby. So look at that.
We anchored with just the faintest hint of light remaining.
You know, not too shabby.
You know, you don't need all of the light. You just need a little bit.
Give me the...
What are you drinking, babe? Celebrating.
El Chavo, Blake's Hard Cider.
I am drinking the Incarnation IPA from St. Louis. While Jen preps dinner, which I think is tacos.
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to be doing a engine oil change. This is the day that keeps on going and going and going. So up at 5:30 this morning, those beautiful shots in the morning was like 6:30ish, or probably like 6:15 before sunrise. And it is now 7. It's a good day. And you're working.
Oh yeah.
While you're prepping dinner.
Yeah. I'm working, we're giving a presentation at the AGLCA rendezvous in 3 days. No, the rendezvous starts in 3 or 4 days, but we're not giving it until for like another week. Yeah, it's actually a week from today. But this is actually very real life show and Joe, because we get up early, we boat, we explore, we boat, we do things, then we have to, we anchor, and then we have to do more things. So there's no like rest time. So we're usually always exhausted.
Which is part of the balance, because our rest is cruising and exploring the loop, which is not restful, but it's fun. So it's always that trade-off. Do you have more fun or do you have more rest? And what happens for us is we have like build up, and then we crash. So basically after the rendezvous, we are planning Green Turtle Bay, massages, anchoring galore, just relaxing.
Done with the oil?
With this. And it's very black, very ready to be changed. We change our oil every 200 hours. It's been 211 hours, so it is time. I was gonna wait till the rendezvous, but I figured like we're gonna be so busy there, I'd rather just get it done with. So getting it done. Moments of truth.
Ooh, that was nice.
It was a good start, eh?
Yeah.
Fuel filter and oil. Check. Looks amazing.
Tonight for dinner we have black bean tacos with corn and bell peppers with some spicy pickled onions, some avocado, and then on the side we have some like leftover sour cream from one of the dishes I made this week, and some salsa with our favorite chips in the entire world, spicy queso.
My favorite Tostitos chips.
Oh, our favorite Tostitos chips. They're incredible. So it is time to eat.
And with that, we're gonna unwind. It's 9 o'clock, so it's almost bedtime. About at midnight. Thank you so much for watching our day exploring Paducah and coming into our next Midwest river. See you guys tomorrow as we continue cruising and explore Kentucky Lake. We have a really fun anchorage planned with some activities, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.
And when you have to go over that muscle, typically start now seeing foot just because that muscle bit water soaking up the just by having existing next.
Okay. Sorry, I have to focus driving. Focus. Tree in the water.
This is the story of our lives. Or just relaxing. And working.
Yeah, well, we're gonna be actually doing.
Well, we're gonna be working, but we're gonna be relaxing and working.
Hey, like the faintest hint of light. Would you look at that?
We anchored just the faintest hint of light remaining.
You know? Not too shabby.